welcome out to our 2026 Sooner Athletic Conference previews. We're looking forward to an exciting year, and what better place to start out than the sunny Arizona out there? And no surprise to anybody. Boy, that's a cheesy dad joke already.
Yeah, right.
But we're going out to Ottawa, Arizona, and Coach Reilly Murphy. Coach, welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, really appreciate you, having the interest in our program and all the work that you guys are doing. I'm excited to be here.
Well, thank you. That means a lot. We'll jump right into it. You guys come off of a season that I don't think ended the way you wanted it to. You're rolling along, finished the season at 8-1, but the expectations out in Ottawa there are to get into the playoffs and continue that. Is that pressure on you?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think the good thing is when you make it a self-driven motivation, that pressure's there at all times, and a lot to be proud of. First year, a lot of challenges to be overcome, and a lot of accomplishments that had, and that's the beautiful and the kind of the harsh reality of our sport when you have the bar that we are setting. That there's really only one team that's happy at the end of the year, and we're trying to be that team.
Look, you're exactly right, and you bring up a good point. It's been pretty heavy at the top. You've got Texas Wesleyan, you've got Louisiana Christian, you guys, of course, Wayland Baptist does it. Each week in and out, you've got a tough schedule.
100%. Yeah, that's the great thing about the Sooner is a lot of these conferences are very geographically locked. For us, you are playing all over, playing top teams from all over the country, and that's a challenge. The travel, all the things that come involved with that, and the different brands, the different styles of football, and all the really good coaches that we have in this conference. So that's what makes it exciting as well.
One of the things that folks talk about with the Sooner Athletic Conference is the strength of the conference. And so this season, you went out of conference, and I don't think there's a tougher week 0 game. You and Montana Tech are going to tangle.
Yes, sir. Yeah, when I saw that game could become a reality, I went after it pretty hard. And I think no matter what happens up there in Montana, we're going to leave a better football team. And that's the reason we decided to jump at it. And honestly, I think it's a great opportunity for all of us from the Sooner to hopefully go up there and represent, our brand of football well. And that's what we're trying really hard to do. And it's a big challenge, but I've noticed with our team, it's kind of heightened their sense and their timeline, and that's also an added advantage to it.
You get in front of a lot of these guys that are committee members too, and I think that's a pretty good resume builder as well. Getting that kind. How difficult was it to get that game set up?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of moving parts, and credit to them as well. They were motivated to make it happen when I reached out, and we were able to find a happy ground and make it happen. And like you said, it's one of those things that it can help, but obviously we got to go up there and perform well, though, right?
Right. Look, you come into it, and everywhere you've been, your time at St. Thomas, all throughout, you're an offensive-minded guy, leading the Sooner last year at 40-plus points on there too. What does a Reilly Murphy offense have to do for you to consider it good?
Well, I think what we got to do is, be a championship brand of football. So it doesn't have to be 44 points. It's got to be whatever causes our team to win. And what I've always taken from a lot of people that have been really good to me and taught me is, it's players, formations, plays. That's what a good offense is, and how do you shape that around it?
I think what folks overlook, though, is when they see that offense that you guys have, of course, led by the quarterback that was, I think, Sooner Conference Player of the Year in Luke Giron. The defense only gave up, a little over 100 points in the conference games, too. So you guys really can bring it on defense.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I've had an offense in mind, but my job as the head coach is to make sure all of our team is operating at a high level, and our defensive staff does a great job, great communication, and that's what we want. We want to be the best defense in the country, and we feel like defense wins championships, and that's our goal this year. And we have a lot of good players that can make that dream I would say reality, but it's also it could be a reasonable expectation to keep yourself right there. And that's what we want to be.
You look at your offseason hires and you can tell that defense isn't the only thing you think about. You added a pretty special one in Tim Rosenbach on there. As an offensive guy yourself, how difficult is it to turn the keys over to somebody like Tim, who is extraordinary everywhere that he goes? But how tough is it?
Not tough at all. When you get a chance to get somebody like that, you got to take advantage of that. And no matter what we're doing, offensively, defensively, I'm always going to have what my opinion of that should look like. And our coaches have always done a great job of working with that. But it's also my job not to micromanage everything. It's also allow them to flourish in what's made them great, and that's with my OC and our DC, and blending what we see, what can take us to where we want to go. So Coach Rosie, I mean, he was somebody I've looked up to. He's somebody when he was in Montana, I wanted to work for him. And so when he reached out, it became pretty apparent that there's a lot of pieces coming together here.
Look, excited to see that. You talked about your OC and your DC getting together. How well do they feed off each other just to learn? Because certainly solid on both sides of the ball. So how are they adjusting to feeding off each other?
Oh, great. Absolutely great. Yeah, they're both professionals at the highest level, high competitors, and they both can kind of talk about their previous successes and not like hang on that, because they're still just as hungry as they were, 10 years ago. And that's exactly what I want to be around.
There you go. We talked a little bit earlier about Luke and his departure on there too. How's the quarterback competition out there?
Yeah, we got a lot of options. That's still in that time of camp where, we are looking at guys getting eligible, guys getting healthy, transfers that are coming in that are doing good things. So we feel confident that we're going to be good. And, our job is, whoever's the quarterback, that we're better around that position.
How do you convince or encourage one of them? Say, look, you don't have to go out here and be the next Luke. You just have to go out there and be the first you.
Yeah. You nailed it. Just I'll have to use that clip.
There you go. You can have that one. All right. So somebody maybe that we don't know, but around October, November, the Sooner Athletic Conference and the country is going to know about somebody in your roster that they don't right now.
I find that hard to throw that out there at you just because we're so early,
right.
With it. But we have a lot of contenders. The thing about the way that I feel strongly about how our team is constructed is that we if you look at our roster, we're probably one of the more eclectic, rosters in the country with states. Right. We've got guys from Louisiana. We got guys from Texas, Arizona, a lot of West Coast. We got guys from New York, Minnesota, and really it's about, the West Valley where we live is a very desirable place to be.
Right.
And, hopefully the way that we run our school and our program and, relying on the foundations of Christ and bringing these young men together is a motivational thing that we can continue to use to get us to where we want to go.
I absolutely love that. Let's look conference wide. Forget about let's take Ottawa out of the picture on there. Who do you look at on film around the league and say, you know what, this is a team we've got to watch out for?
Honestly, you've kind of nailed quite a few of them. There's a lot of teams trending up in the Sooner right now. Louisiana Christian has finished so strong. Texas Wesleyan is always good. Langston's kind of got that reputation of, always being at the top. So you never know with the new coach how that's going to go. It could go both ways. And he certainly has the tools and the resources and the knowledge to get them to somewhere where you got to keep them competitive. And, the schemes that Oklahoma Panhandle does, the Wayland Baptist, their offense and, how they finish off the season. It's, and there's teams I'm missing, and there's no slight to those teams that I'm missing. It's just, I do feel like every team that we are looking at, as you look at the way that those head coaches are running their programs, the way that they are recruiting, you got to feel like, we're all trending up.
I love that answer because it is week in and week out always going to be a great one. And you jump, as we've talked about, with a Montana Tech to start things off. Well, you jump into it right away on there.
Yeah.
If at this point in it too, and I know that it's early, if we had to give you a truth serum, what would you tell us that the biggest question about the Spirit is at this point?
Well, I think the biggest question is we're a brand new team. We're a
Right.
brand new team. Last year we were too. We didn't have a spring ball. We came in the fall and we had about 6 returning starters on the whole team, and we almost ran the whole table.
Right.
So, and that's encouraging, but it's not something that we can rest on. But I do think we're better prepared and a little bit more settled with our returners and other things that are going on that can do that. So what is our biggest challenge is, can we be that team that recruits from all over the country and brings these men together and doesn't shy away from that goal and put our differences aside and, be that pedestal of, stewardship of, the foundations of Christ and becoming that united unit as a team. And that's hard to do. It's hard to do. And that you look at a lot of these teams that won the national championships, it's a lot of guys from the same area, and
Right.
so that we're the opposite, and we're proud of that. But, there's a reason why people shy away from that model. And we're hoping that we can kind of, break some of those stigmas. And so that's our biggest challenge, is coming together. We have the talent, we have the young men, but can we stay together when times get tough?
Look, I think what you find, as short of these spring practices, fall practices are, that's the toughest group. That's the toughest thing on anybody. I don't want to let you get out of here. I know you got to go in just a minute, but I don't want to
Yes,
let
sir.
you get out of here. You talked on it a couple of times, your faith and Christ. How important is that to you on what you train these young men at that are going to go pro in life? How is that important to you?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's everything. I mean, that's what makes our job, this school, amazing, because it's supported from the top down. And, our goal is to be, I have a young son, right? And I say to our team all the time, like, pretty soon you guys are gonna be in charge of him. And so I want to make sure we're building good husbands, good fathers, and so relying on those foundations of Christ and being able to talk about that and be able to pray together, be able to do. We did chapel last night together. I think that can honestly be our our vessel that takes us where we want to go. And our saying is, you can't hide in orange. I should be wearing orange right now.
Right.
And we don't want to hide. We want
Right.
to be in front. We want to be the men that when tough times happen, we don't shy away. We want to be bold in our actions, bold in our faith, and we want to be the men in the arena. So that's kind of what we're shooting for.
Coach, I know we just met, but I'm a big fan of yours just for that. That's so important because all of these young men need that in this world.
Yeah. Thank
We're
you.
going to finish with our fast five real quick. It's 5 questions, one
Uh-oh.
word answer or 2 word answers. I'll make it easy on you too, and we'll get you out of here. Best position group on your football team right now?
Let's go D-line.
D-line. Player poised for a breakout year?
Let's go Faber, cornerback.
There you go. Toughest road environment in the Sooner Athletic Conference?
I haven't seen them all. That's a tough one, but I'll say that last year we, Langston.
Hey, look, places are tough because they're tough to get to. That's
Sure.
the number one problem.
And Texas West, great environment too. So
Yeah, look, when you get there into that stadium and it's hosting the national title game again this year, I think that's fantastic. One thing people outside the program are wrong about when they talk about Ottawa?
that we're just a bunch of fast, guys. We got the brains. We just got to prove it.
Love it. December 2026. Let's fast forward a minute. And this is question number 5. What has to happen for Coach Reilly Murphy to say, you know what, that was a successful season?
We continue to get guys baptized and graduated, and we represent ourselves well on the football field.
Couldn't have asked for a better answer on it, Coach. I know you've got things to do, but I appreciate you joining us for our 2026 Sooner Athletic Conference previews. The 2026 season is right around the corner. So for Coach Reilly Murphy of Ottawa, OUAZ, Ottawa of Arizona, I am Doug Gann, and we'll see you next time.
Let's go. Thank you. Appreciate
Yes.
you.